Okay. Well, should we get started? Everyone's chatty this morning. Oh, Laura's just getting on too. Good morning. So today's theme is laughter and lengthening. Laugh and lengthen, yes. I took this course years ago about laughter yoga. And it was interesting because they tell you that even if you're faking a laugh, that it's good for you, that it's really good for your attitude. It's good. There's a lot of good things about laughter. That the concept is laughter is really good medicine. So I thought I'd start with a joke. And you guys can laugh at me all morning if you want. I don't get upset by being laughed at anymore. But so why was the bagel not very good at yoga? He couldn't find his center. And then why was the bagel, or what do you call a bagel that is really good at yoga, that's mastered it? A pretzel. So those are my really funny jokes. It sounds like someone else is coming down, maybe.
I remember the first joke you ever told me.
What was that?
What do you call a fake noodle?
A fake noodle?
Impasta.
Oh, yay, it's Donna. Good morning. You missed our really funny jokes. Alexa's joke yesterday was, let's see, what does Aladdin wear to work on Fridays? His blue jeans. That was the only one that was worth repeating that Alexa had. So we'll just wait for Miss Donna to. Oh, Artie's coming to Connie. All right, find your center and close your eyes. And just turn to your breath. Sometimes we take life a little too seriously. It's good to remember to practice laughing. Just think of other people's laughs, where they go ho, 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 he, so many different kinds of laughs. The best laughs are kids' laughs, I think. And just bring a smile to your face and see how that actually even just changes your outlook. Feel your spine lengthening as you breathe. Please bring hands to heart center. I always say that if you can't find the good in a situation, look for the lesson. But another way to look at it is if you can't find the good in a situation, look for the humor. Always changes everything. much better able to see the grace and the beauty that's in every moment. And please lower your hands, open your eyes. Oh, she found one of her favorite people. Let's start on our backs and just grab your blanket. And I'm going to have you lay on your left side and put just your head on your blanket. How's this so far? And stretch your arms out straight and just place your right hand on top of your outstretched left hand. And then slowly, like you're pulling up your sleeves, just bring your right hand up your left arm and then open up to a twist. Yeah. And it's okay if your right hip kind of moves to the right. Just want it to be a really easy twist. If your right shoulder isn't all the way down, that's okay too. And then waiting for your next inhale, reach all the way across again, bring the right hand to the left. And exhale, slide it back down and open up. Inhale, reach it across. Slide it back down and open up. 2 more times. Just pause there. And just bring your knees up and shift your hips so you can roll all the way to the right side now. Left hand on top of the right. You need a little more thickness on your blanket, you can do that. And then just slide the hand down and open up. Mike always forgets to let Ted come with him. So if you hear him whine and that's it, just notice if there's a difference between the two sides. Breathe into your core. Your left hip wants to slide to the left a little bit. It's okay. And then 5 times, reach up and over on the inhale. Exhale, open it up. And then when you've done 5, pause, bring the knees up, shift so your hips are right in the middle, and then extend your legs long, but bring them in wide to the edge of your mat. So, and then stretch your arms up over your head. Keep your head on the blanket. And then reach your left foot up and over and cross ankles onto your right foot. So you're at a kind of an arcing position. We're going to work on opposite hips and shoulders. So there's a connection between your right hip and your left shoulder, and your left hip and your right shoulder. So on your next inhale, I'm going to have you reach your right arm forward, but straight forward. So your feet are still at the angle. And then have your left arm follow and lift your head and shoulders. So you're pointing straight down and then come on back up. arms extended. So inhale, right hand forward, left hand forward, lift. And exhale, lower. So you're really strengthening. So right hand first, left hand, and lower. Keep going. So see if you can find length and strength from right hip to left shoulder, then left hip to right shoulder. Two more. Make sure you keep that length going. And then relax down. Bring your left foot across to the edge. Place your right ankle on top. And I want it to be a nice stretch. And then just keep thinking of that cross strength. So right hip to left shoulder, left hip to right shoulder. Keep it long and strong. So starting, left hand comes forward, put straight down, right hand joins, and lift, and back down. Keep going. Keep both hips firmly grounded. And even though your body's at an angle, you can feel that cross body connection. Left arm, right arm up. Three more. Just notice if one side feels a little easier than the other. And then when you've done it, unwind your feet, hug your knees in, and roll to the side and come on up to all fours. You can move your blanket out of the way. And place your hands under your shoulders and just move through some cow cats. You'll notice the work that you just did. Side body. And just move with your breath. Good. And then after you've evened out, pause in all fours and extend just your right leg. And think of the cross body. So extend left arm, right leg, draw them into the socket so you can really feel that cross body strength. And even left hip to right shoulder, feel that. So you feel really square to the front and to the floor. Good. And then on your next exhale, lower the hand and the knee. And then inhale, extend them again. Feeling that cross body. So keep going like that. 2, 3, 4. Just keep thinking cross body. And 5. Good. Bring the hand and the knee down. Bring your knees wide. Sit back to a child's pose. And then come on up and we'll switch sides. Now, if you're getting too serious, just look at me and you can laugh. Extend your left leg and your right arm. Think of crossbody, length and strength. So even though I'm drawing the right arm into the socket and the left leg into the socket, I'm still trying to lengthen across the body, and especially left to right as well. One more breath. And then lower. And keeping all that, extend back up. Lower. Three, 4, and 5. And bring your hands forward of your shoulders. Curl your toes, lift to your first downward facing dog. And just walk it out. But even here, I want you to kind of notice. So right shoulder to left hip, left shoulder to right hip. That cross-body connection. They're lengthening, but yet really strong and supportive. And notice if one side feels different than the other. One of those cross-body connections. And then come forward to plank and notice the same thing. Sometimes when we shift, things seem to change. Put weight in the fingertips, finger mounds. Good. And then inhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. So come forward to plank and downward facing dog. This time, as you come forward to plank, lower your knees to lower down to the mat, or just lower down. And bring your fingers wide and come up on fingertips and maybe forward of your shoulders a little bit. Press your feet down and lift a funky cobra. Kind of floss your shoulder blades a little bit. Kind of lifting and lowering. And then lower back down. And 3 times, just think lengthen, long and strong cross body as I lift. Exhale down. 2, lift. And down. And last time, 3. And down. Good. Bring your hands back by your chest and push all the way back to a downward facing dog. Notice that cross-body connection. And just try a few laughs. And see, notice your belly as you laugh. So even if you're faking it, it does you good. So, Good. And then step your feet to your hands. Come to a forward fold. I'm laughing because my belly's sticking out. My shirt's coming up. It's not what I want to have happen today, but it's kind of funny. Notice your feet. And even here, just kind of think of a line from your left shoulder to right hip and right shoulder to left hip. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then Slowly come all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And inhale, stretch it up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. And exhale, fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to the mat, however you get there. Inhale, cobra. And exhale down. Good, push back to all fours. And I'm gonna have you grab your blocks just in case you want them. Don't have to, it's just a suggestion. And step your right foot up between the blocks for an Anjane position. Good. And then just kind of feel that. Hug to the midline. Bring your hands to your front knee. I'll think of that cross body. And stretch your arms up. So right shoulder to left hip, left shoulder to the right hip. Like an X marks the spot in the middle. Do your jazz hands, wiggle them around. Good, and then bring your arms to a T and keep that X marks the spot as you twist to your right. Yeah, it feels a little different. Just push her out of the way, Donna. Good. Come back to center. Stretch the arms up, Anjaneyasana, and then touch down to the blocks. This is where you might want the blocks. If you have tight hamstrings, shift your hips back, straighten your right leg. And I always flex my foot to start. But before you do anything else, before you go too low, think of left shoulder to right hip. And then right shoulder to left hip. And ask yourself, am I kind of centered on all that? Maybe stretch the toes long, maybe fold deeper if that's in your wheelhouse. Big stretch. Good. Bend into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Deep lunge. And just notice if you've kind of forgotten about that cross body connection. Kind of reevaluate. Left shoulder, right hip is really strong. Right shoulder, left hip. Good, now keep your left hand on the block. Sweep your right arm up and open up to a deep lunge twist. Feels similar to what you just did. And reach it back forward and down. Step forward and step your right foot back to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Sorry, Artie's really making it difficult for you. She's found her person today. Come up, hands on the knee. Kind of reevaluate. Right shoulder, left hip. Left shoulder, right hip. Hug to the midline. Stretch your arms up if you want. Wiggle your hands, jazz hands. It's kind of funny. Now keep that cross-body connection. Bring your arms to T and then twist to your left. See if you can still feel left shoulder to right hip. Right shoulder, left hip. Long and strong. Good. Sweep back to the center. Touch down. Slide your hips back. Straighten the left leg. Yeah, you can use blocks here if you're tight. Think right shoulder, left hip. Left hip stays back, the hip crease stays back. Left shoulder, right hip. Everything's square and good. And you're welcome to move into it a little deeper. Good, bending back into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Deep lunge. Right hand stays on the block. Think of those long cross body connections. Stretch the left hand up and open up to that twist. Deep lunge twist. Jazz hand, woohoo. And touch down. Good, please step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Turn this way. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back first this time. Lower the back knee again. Take your time, thinking cross-body connection. To stretch up to Anjane Asana. So right shoulder, left hip stays long and strong. Left shoulder, right hip. Good, bring hands to heart center. Twist, just get that feeling like you did before. You're gonna twist to your left. This time, bring that elbow onto the knee. And then recheck your cross body. And breathe. Possibly lift the back knee. You're feeling it. You're feeling strong. You're feeling long. Left hip stays back. Right shoulder, left hip, left shoulder, right hip. Good. Unwind and touch down. And then kind of adjust your feet and maybe lift to crescent. Stretch your arms up, wiggle them. Good. Lean forward and just hover there, but extend just your right arm. So you're thinking cross body. How does it work? Good, touch down, really nice, you guys. Step forward. And switch, left foot back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Stretch up, Anjane Asana. Wiggle your fingers. Be goofy, but stay connected to that cross body. Hands to heart center. And just check that as you twist to your right. Bring the left elbow to the right knee. And lift the back knee if you want. Don't have to. And unwind. Touch down. Adjust your feet if you need to. And then come up to crescent. And I see I Didn't have my right hip crease back. I didn't have that length and strength from left armpit to right hip. So I had to readjust. Just notice that. And then lean forward, sweep your arms back. And just the left arm, stretch it by your ear. Jazz fingers if you want. Good, touch down. Move the blocks out of the way to step back to a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Never lose that connection, that cross-body connection, especially for this class. Come forward to plank, lower. Good. Inhale to cobra and lower. And please push back, downward facing dog. Actually, if you'd like, you can lower your knees and put your hands on your blocks too, because we're going to step through to a deep lunge. So extend the right leg. Just take a moment there just to notice cross-body connection. Good. And then sweep that foot up and through to a deep lunge. Good. Lower the back knee. Grab the blocks if your hamstrings are tight. Shift your hips back. Straighten the right leg. And this time move the heel forward just a little bit more. Check in with that cross-body connection. And fold a little deeper. Just getting them all stretched out. Good. Bend into the front knee. Now you're in a really deep Anjane position. Stretch up. Ooh, can you still find the crossbody connection and make it feel good in your hip flexor? Good, touch down. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg. Notice the crossbody. Right shoulder, left hip, left shoulder, right hip. Can you keep all that square as you then step the foot through deep lunge? Lower the back knee. Maybe move the knee back or the heel forward as you slide the hips back, runner's lunge. Get the cross body connection. It's easy to lose that, especially when one foot's in front of the other, but you still want to feel that. Stretch the toes if it feels good. Good, bend back into the front knee. You're going to be in a really deep Anjane asana, but keeping that cross body. Jazz hands, woohoo. I can do this, and release down. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Now, if this isn't good for your knees, you can do this pigeon prep on your back. But I'm going to do it here. I'm going to extend my right leg, sweep the knee all the way up, maybe to the outside of my right wrist or behind my right wrist. Lower the back knee. And then just ask yourself, do I have that cross body connection? So from my left shoulder to my right hip, that's nice and long and strong. And then right shoulder to left hip, maybe lower down a little bit. Just see what feels good. I think if you think about it as X marks the spot, it feels like a totally safe and different stretch. Unless you have knee issues, then it doesn't necessarily. Good, now, if you're on your elbows, swivel your left forearm in, come up on your right fingertips, and maybe keeping both cross bodies strong and long, twist to your right. Ooh, adds a little extra something, doesn't it? And then unwind. Bring your hands right under your shoulders. Curl the toes on your left foot, lift the back knee and step back. Down dog. And let's do that on the other side. So extend the left leg, sweep the knee behind the wrist. Foot comes to the center, and then pause there and think cross body connection. So right shoulder to left hip, long and strong, left shoulder to the right hip. Lower down. Yeah. Is she underneath you? Oh my gosh, I need a picture of that. She is really loving you. All right. Gosh, that is hilarious. Thanks for making us laugh, Artie and Donna. Artemis is, for those of you at home, she's right under Donna's crotch. Swivel your right forearm in, come up on left fingertips, little twist if you're feeling it and if it feels good. Oh, keep that right shoulder to left hip nice and long and strong. Good, and then unwind. Back up on your hands. Lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. And then step your feet to your hands, come to a forward fold. I'm going to encourage you to use your blocks, and you can even use them on the highest height. I'm going to keep mine on medium. But just for good measure, inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just pause there, close your eyes. And then inhale, stretch up. Jazz hands, exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. Good, now step your right foot back, but only about 2.5, 3 feet, so you can ground the heel down. The left leg stays straight. And think of the cross body connection. So right shoulder, left hip, left shoulder, right hip. So everything kind of stays square. If your heel is lifted, step forward a little bit more. Keep weight in the ball of the left foot as well as the heel. Maybe fold a little deeper in pyramid pose if that feels good. And then come back up to a pranam. Keep your right hand on the block. Bring your left hand to the hip. Now keep that cross body length and strength as you twist to your left. Maybe extend the arm. Ooh, yeah. Twisted triangle, but really feeling that support from your core. Good, now touch back down to the block. Bend your front knee and bring the blocks forward so that you can lift the right leg up and have it straight back. And then check in cross body. So right shoulder, left hip. You can keep a little baby bend in the knee if you want. Left shoulder, right hip. Everything's connected. Now maybe again, bring your left hand to your hip. If you don't feel stable enough to twist, you don't have to, but just try it. Twisted Ardha Chandrasana. So left hand to the hip. And just see, maybe extend the arm if you're feeling it. Yeah, it's really hard. Keep that cross body really going. Good. And then touch back down. Bring the right foot beside your left. Forward fold. Just take a moment there. Turn your toes out. Come down to a deep squat. Hopefully that'll feel good. I definitely. Oh, she's right underneath you now. Poor thing. She never gets any attention around here. Gosh. And then come on back up. And just because I feel like we need to sweep all the way up. Jazz hands. Wait for an exhale and fold forward again. I'm going to use my blocks again right by my feet. You're going to step your left foot back now to that position. So your heels and your hips are lined up. So we have a tendency to let our hips kind of sway one way or another. I want you to feel that cross-body connection and just realize that if you keep that, you're going to stay centered and long and strong. Maybe fold a little deeper if that feels good to you. Pyramid pose. Good, and then come up to a pranam. See if you've lost any of that crossbody. Right hand comes to the hip and twist. Crossbody is where it's at. Maybe extend the arm. You have to bring my left hand forward a little bit. Twisted triangle, Pavrita Trikonasana. Left shoulder, right hip. Right shoulder, left hip. Good, and touch down. Bend the front knee. Bring the blocks forward, just so when you lift that back foot, you're in an L shape with your right foot in your body. So you may have to adjust the blocks. Try to keep the weight in the foot more than the hand. And if you need the highest height of the blocks, no big deal. Do it. Think of your cross-body connection. Right hand to the hip. And if you're feeling it, twist. Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. If you're really feeling it, bend the front knee, find the foot with your right hand. Cross-body connection. One more breath. Touch the right hand down, bring the left foot by your right. Forward fold. And step back to a downward facing dog. This is probably going to feel good. Come forward to plank, lower to the mat. Cobra. And lower. And push back to all fours. Encourage you to have your blocks again. And just walk forward on your mat and put your right foot on the floor in front of your mat. Flex, flex the foot. Now this is so key. I want you to just keep the cross body feeling and maybe slide that foot forward till it feels like, oh, okay, that's far enough. I still have the cross body. Or if you want to go deeper, you can. Just keep monitoring cross body connection. Hanumanasana. Right shoulder, left hip. Left shoulder, right hip. Ooh, that's deep. But it's so safe in your low back and in your core. A lot of times when you get your hamstring stretched out, it's really good for your low back. Now this is the hard part. Move the blocks back. Slide the heel back. And then see if you can get that foot back. And switch. Left heel forward. Sometimes you can rub off some of your calluses too. So find that cross-body connection. Just kind of check. I noticed that my right hip was kind of moving out to the side. So I'm going to draw right shoulder to left hip, left shoulder to right hip. If you want to go deeper, you can. Breathe. Hanumanasana is the name of this pose. Monkey lunge pose. Hard part is sliding back out of it and come on back to all fours. Just bring your block close by, and then I'm going to have you sit on the block. And I'm going to give you an option here. So I'm going to, if you have knee issues, it's either going to be right leg across like this or in Virasana. So whatever works for you. I'm going to do mine in Virasana because that works okay for me and I feel strong enough. Yeah. Yeah, good. And then just bring your heel forward a little bit. Bring your left hand to the inside, your right hand to the outside of the foot. And then see if you can lift it up. Now think of that cross body connection and see if you can bring the foot forward. Just see how it feels. Maybe even some of you can straighten it or almost straighten it. Think of that cross body connection, side body super long. Now keep a hold with your right hand. Slide your left hand down to your hip and then twist and maybe extend the arm back. Yeah, good, you guys. So you just go where it feels like a good stretch to you. Good, bring that left hand back to the foot. I'm impressed, you guys. Okay. And release. Oh, good job. Switch. It's kind of fun to do these poses And it feels really good on the block, right? Flex the foot, grab either side. Hard part is leaning back enough to feel grounded and feel that cross-body connection, and see where it takes you. You don't have to get your leg all the way straight. Maybe you can feel stable, the knee bent, and then slide the right hand back, a little twist. Keep the right shoulder to left hip, left shoulder to right hip, connection. Couple breaths. I have the wall to grab onto. I'm so lucky. Good. And then bring the hand back and come on down. Bring both knees under if you want. Sit for a moment. See how much time we have. Okay, you want to try it standing up? So it's going to be an option. You can either do what we just did, or we can try it standing up. You guys did so well. We may as well try it. So come on up to standing. Definitely move your block out of the way in case you fall out. And if you do fall out, you can laugh at me because I probably will fall out. So stand on your left foot, bring your right knee up, and just grab the knee until you feel stable. And then maybe reach down, grab the foot. So maybe this is all you're gonna do. Try and lengthen. Think crossbody. I'm telling myself, maybe twist. And release. Good job. So you're twisting towards the outstretched leg. Yeah, Jeanette was like, oh, backwards. Yeah, it's just, we're just doing this really fast for fun. Okay, and laugh because it's a hard pose. Try not to shift your eyes too quickly if you do get into that mode where you might be able to twist. Stand on the right foot. Left knee comes up. Think of cross-body connection. Find the foot if you want. Straighten the leg. Twist. Yay! And release. I know, that's why I told you, don't put the blocks anywhere close because you could fall on those guys. So proud of y'all. Okay, come on up to the front of your mats. Stretch your arms up. Jazz hands. And forward fold. Step back. Downward facing dog. Come to plank. Lower down. Cobra. Just think of that cross-body connection, how it feels really good. And lower down. And then go ahead and push back to all fours. Swivel your feet to the side and go ahead and come to your backs. Feet bent. Have your blanket close by though. Actually, before you lay down, grab your blanket. This is gonna feel good. For me, I have to turn it sideways. You're gonna have your, as opposed to what we did last time, your shoulders will be on the blanket, but your head will be off. And it just adds a little more room behind your neck. And then just kind of think, okay, left shoulder to right hip. I'm going to draw that left shoulder underneath so I can feel that right hip grounded and left shoulder grounded. And then do the same thing with the right shoulder. So draw it underneath, get right shoulder to left hip, and then feet right underneath, lift your hips to Setu Bandha. And maybe even get the shoulders underneath more. Got lots of room for your head. If you want to interlace your hands, you can. And just feel that with a really connected cross-body connection. Allow your heart to lift a little more. The sits bones are back. The shoulders are back, but you still feel that strength and length through the crossbody. Good, and then go ahead and lower back down. You have to move your hands out of the way. Take a breath or two. And then roll to the side to just move the blanket out of the way. I just want you to know that that's always an option. If you feel a lot of stress in your neck doing that pose, you can always put your shoulders on a blanket. Bring your arms to cactus. And feel the cross-body connection. Lift the feet up. Flex the feet. Hug the knees and the feet together. And then allow the knees to just roll all the way to the right side. This should feel pretty easy. If the left hip slides back, it's okay. Maybe even turn your head to the left a little bit. Excuse me. Hugging the right leg into the left, bring the knees back to center. Check the cross body connection as you roll to the left with your knees. Right shoulder stays down. Turn your gaze to the right. And hook the left knee into the right. Bring the knees back to center. And just plug them into your chest with your hands. You can roll side to side a little bit. And then just grab the kneecaps with your fingers pointing down and push the knees away from you till your arms are full length and your feet just dangle there. Yeah, jazz feet. And just a little pressure down into the hip sockets, thinking left shoulder, right shoulder, left hip. Feel connection in your core. Bring the knees a little wider. And then hug them close into your armpits. You'll feel the low back press down. Bring them back together. And then push them away again. You just make a circle, but you're calming. So bring them wide. Hug them close in that wide position. Bring them together and push them away. And this time go the opposite direction. Hug them in close. Bring them wide to your armpits. Push them away and back together. And one more time like that. Hug them close, wide, away, and together. And please bring your feet flat. Let your knees open to butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Take in a few long, slow, deep breaths. What did the three-legged horse say when he hobbled into Dodge City? I'm looking for the man who shot my paw. Actually, I think it was supposed to be a dog. Three-legged dog, not a horse. That'd be a hoof, wouldn't it? Good. Close your knees. Go ahead and stretch out for a well-deserved Shavasana. And start with that cross body just to check the length and see if you're laying in a good position. And then allow the floor to really support you completely. Just a few quotes from famous people about laughter. Maya Angelou, I don't trust anyone who doesn't laugh. William James, we don't laugh because we're happy because we laugh. William Thackeray, a good laugh is sunshine in the house. Rumi said, within tears find hidden laughter. Seek treasures and ruins, sincere one. Victor Borg said, laughter is the shortest distance between two people. Charlie Chaplin said, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Herman Melville, I know not all that may be coming, but be it what it will, I'll go to it laughing. He also said, a good laugh is a mighty good thing, a rather too scarce a good thing. Jean Houston said, at the height of laughter, the universe is flung into a kaleidoscope of new possibilities. Woody Allen said, I'm thankful for laughter, except when milk comes out my nose. Shirley MacLaine, a person who knows how to laugh at himself will never cease to be amused. Relax your belly, where good laughs come from. Relax your lower molars. Relax your pinky toes. Begin to notice your breath. And start to wiggle. You can make jazz hands and feet a little bit. And just take your time pushing on up to seated. Just bring hands to heart center. Thank you all for being such wonderful pretzels today. And I bow to the beauty and the grace in each of you. Namaste. And stop the recording. Thanks you guys for being here and just